Hello guys, have you ever met someone who just can't sit still? Someone who needs to create, explore and connect wherever they go? Laurence Chellali is one of those people. A French photographer who has been living in China for nearly 10 years. She has captured not only landscapes, but also the soul of everyday life here. From the streets of Nanjing to the mountains of Shanghai and the quiet beauty of Tibetan culture. In today's episode of Life in China, we'll discover how living here has shaped her art, her family life, and her understanding of what it means to belong in a culture that's not her own. Let's go. What was the brightest impression when you just arrived to China?
It's very anecdotic, but I arrived in China by plane, but then we went to Hongqiao station in Shanghai to take the train to Nanjing. And this station is so huge, so full of people, and it was during the holiday, so it was even more crowded. And for me, this station remained for me the a little bit a nightmare. Even today, when I take the train and I arrive there, I don't feel comfortable. This is the first, very first impression. The second one, when we arrived here in this compound, so the buildings compared to Europe, here they are not so tall because max it's 17 levels, I think. But when I arrived there, I saw these big buildings and I said, wow, how I will live here.
Laurence, China is full of contrasts. It's tradition and modernity, it's calm and chaos. How does living here influence your photography and your artistic vision?
I have discovered a lot when I arrived here. A lot of things that I didn't know, the traditional art of craft, etc. It's sure that from the point of view of the modernity here, it's fantastic. If I want to do some very modern photos, it's very easy because because of the buildings, the streets, the shops, etc., which are some of them are really very modern. But I think that there is not a huge separation between the two. I think that tradition and modernity, by the way, they are linked here in a special way.
As far as I know, your daughter used to live with you at some point, right? Mm-hmm. And where did she study? Which school did she go to?
She studied to the Nanjing International School. Mm-hmm. We have decided to put her here mainly because of the language. Mm-hmm. Because when we arrived here, she was 13, and we thought that putting her in a local school would be very difficult for her because Chinese is Chinese, so you can't learn like that. She wasn't good in English, but in 2 months she was perfect.
If she could speak Chinese, would you enroll her in a local public school?
Yes, sure. Mm-hmm. 10 years ago, if we were arriving today here, now there are a lot of international local school which has opened, and I'm pretty sure that we would have put her there.
Do you have a link to local, Chinese photographers community?
Yes, sure. I knew them mainly through my gallery in Shanghai, a photo gallery. They are very good, very good, and the photo language here is different of mine.
That's what I was going to ask next. Yes. So there is a sort of European vision towards photography, and there is Asian vision towards photography.
But I don't know if it's European or Asian. Here, some photos I don't understand them because I don't have the culture. I don't have the knowledge. I think I'm thinking about a wonderful series of a friend of mine. He made it. The photos in itself, they are very, very nice, really nice. But I had understood it the half of what they were saying, because they were referring to cultural aspects, historical, etc., and with a very deep meaning. Me, I was just in the surface.
You just came back from your exhibition in Shanghai that you were co-curator at, right? What do you think about that? Was it a success?
I hope. I was really happy because there was a lot of people for the opening, and my partner said that there are still some people who is coming during all the day. This is the most traditional cyanotype. This one is also a cyanotype. The technique is different. We call this a wet cyanotype. Exposed to the light are outside of the leaf.
So no camera was actually used
For this,
one?
probably no.
Laurence, it's so great to be at this exhibition. Can you tell us about your role here?
So here I have co-organized this exhibition with Dan, which is it's her space. And this space is dedicated to art, but also for a sort of education.
And I see your picture over here. What's the story behind it?
There are two stories. The first one is the shooting moment, which so it's a picture taken in Gansu province in northwest of China, in the desert, at the very, very, very end of the day. So a very sweet light. And it was the very last moment of flight. The other story is the printing story, because here we are in the printing exhibition. When I print this photo, so it's a platinum palladium, and when I print this photo, I wanted to exhibit this proof here to say that even if it's a proof, it's unique. In that sense that even if I want to reproduce exactly the same, it's impossible. Only one photo will exist like that. So, a unique object.
What are the things that you find amazing about Chinese people? Things that you like about Chinese people?
They can speak Chinese and they can read and they can write. But for me, really, maybe you will. It's funny, but it's my main challenge here to pay attention to the daily women, and yes, and this for me would be. It's at the same time a dream.
To learn Chinese?
Yes, but I don't want to learn Chinese just for asking my way in the street. Or I would like to have conversation. So my problem is that I know that I will never reach the point to have a conversation. But when I see young kids that they can read and they can write, I say, wow.
Is there something that you struggle with, something that you don't understand, some cultural differences maybe?
I think that we can't say that I don't like, but which is more difficult for me is that when I need to ask questions, I can't ask many questions together. I need to ask one question and to wait for the reply. And then I can ask the second question and wait for the reply. And for me, this sometimes is irritating. It's difficult for me because I found that it's hard to have the global idea with this state of mind. Each time we need to divide in very, very little things. I understand it's good, but maybe it's this the most difficult for me, to have the global vision, and that it's more difficult for them to have this. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it's a problem of communication.
If you enjoy stories of people who make China their creative home, don't forget to subscribe and follow for more inspiring lives and untold stories from across the country. I know that you recently traveled to Shanghai. Can you tell us what drew you to that region?
Since I'm arrived here, I wanted to discover the Tibetan culture. And in my mind, I thought that I had to go to the Tibetan autonomous region. But I had a difficulty, it's that for a foreigner to go there, we have to book with a tour operator, and me, I absolutely don't want to travel with a tour operator because you are not free and you can't go wherever you want. For my kind of traveling, I'm too independent to follow. The second thing is that I have heard that the Tibetan region is very, very touristical, and maybe because of this mass tourism, a lot of things has been changed there. And one day a friend of me, a Chinese friend, he told me, but Laurence, if you want to discover the true Tibetan culture, go to Shanghai. And I said, "Mom, why not? I'm going to see." And I've been there, and for me, it was a fantastic, a wonderful discovery, because this area, which is huge, it's a huge region, nobody goes there. Even Chinese people, they don't go there. They're afraid to go there. I don't know why. It's true that it's a no man's land. People who are living here, they are mainly nomadic people. In this area, there are only 6 million of inhabitants. From them, 2 are living in Xining, the capital of Shanghai. So you can imagine that all the rest of the area, there is nobody. And all the people here are Tibetan. You are really in the deep Tibetan culture. And as it's absolutely non-touristical, the people are lovely. They are so candid. They want to meet you. They welcome you. They want to communicate with you, and there is absolutely no.
They are not spoiled with tourism
Absolutely
and
not.
souvenir shops.
You can't find.
Right.
You can't find there. So it's really absolutely authentic, and I think that maybe it's one of the latest area in China which remains really authentic. And it's why I love to go there. And the big advantage for us foreigners is that we are absolutely free. We don't need any travel permit, so I can rent my car and drive there, and so on. And it was the first time. And at this time, we met some Tibetan people, and we became friends. And from this time, I come back again and again and again, because I don't know, maybe it's because it's very, very high. The medium altitude is 4,200 meters. This is the medium. So maybe it's the lack of oxygen which make me feeling really really well.
Lightheaded.
Yes, I don't know how to say. I feel really well when I am there. And as it's this area is absolutely unknown from foreigners. They never heard about Shanghai. Nobody knows where it is. And I had the idea to bring some photographers with me to discover this. But I want, when I bring some photographers, I bring only maximum 2 photographers with me, because I want to keep a very tiny group in order to meet very easily people, and I don't want to be to have a minibus of 6, 8 people. This I don't want. And I'm not a tour operator, so I don't know also how to do that. But by bringing maximum 2 other people with me, it's a friendship travel at the end.
What advice would you give to foreigners who are planning to move to China or start their life here?
The main advice is to be open-minded and very open-minded, to be ready to discover and to accept what is arriving to us, and each time if I see something strange or which surprised me, by the way, there is a reason. So, and trying to understand the reason why there is this and why the people is like this, or and so on. But open mind, to be extremely tolerant, to know that we don't know anything on China. But in my case, I used to travel a lot in Japan, especially in Japan when I was younger, so I know Asia. But when I arrived here, I realized that I didn't know nothing about China. Yes, being open-minded and being ready to learn a lot. This, yes, curiosity, a lot of curiosity.
Laurence believes that tolerance and open-mindedness are the keys to living a happy life in China. And I couldn't agree more. When you choose to see the country through curiosity rather than comparison, you start to feel a sense of belonging that goes beyond language or culture. Laurence is one of those expats who truly give back, sharing her vision, collaborating with local artists, and enriching China's creative community. That's what life in China is really about. People like Laurence who don't just live in China but grow here as well. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends so more people can discover stories like this one.